This is a quick tutorial that explains how to set up Python virtual environments in Ubuntu. The process should probably be similar for Mac, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to start by opening Firefox and going to some instructions that I have saved online. So first just go to codeselfstudy.com. And then click on the link for the wiki. And in the search box, type Virtualenv. And this page has some instructions that can help. So I'm going to put this window on top here. And we don't have pip installed yet because this is a new install of Ubuntu, so if I type pip, it says it's not installed, but you can install it by typing sudo apt-get install python pip. Right there are the instructions. So the first thing before you install software on Ubuntu, you want to type sudo apt-get update, and that will download the latest available software and make sure you're getting the latest version. Just takes a minute. And the next thing is to type that command that they mentioned before, which is right here, sudo apt-get install python pip. Now here it says the following new packages will be installed, and do you want to continue? You can just accept the answer. If you push enter, it will automatically choose yes. Okay, so now it's finished, and now we can go over to the documentation here on the wiki page, and it says pip install Virtualenvwrapper. We actually need to install Virtualenv itself, so pip install Virtualenv, and we do need sudo on Ubuntu to install it system-wide. So let's try this. Now I'm just pushing the up arrow to get the last command, and I'm just going to add the word wrapper on the end. So sudo pip install Virtualenvwrapper. Okay, the next thing we need are these two commands here, but if we type them in the terminal and then close the terminal, they'll be gone and we won't be able to use them again. So what you can do is put them in your bashrc file, which contains configuration for your terminal. So the file is called bashrc, and if you put a tilde here and a slash, that means in your home directory. It's always going to be in your home directory. So no matter where you are, you can use this command to edit your bashrc file. If you're not comfortable with vim, then you can use gedit. So that would be basically the same command. Okay, so at the end of the file, I'm going to copy and paste these lines in. And I'm going to remove this $sign because that just refers to the terminal prompt. So we're adding a new variable. We're saying work on home points to our home directory and a new folder that's going to be created called envs, and this is where all of our Python environments will be stored. And then every time we open a new terminal, it's going to load this Virtualenvwrapper script here. So now I'm going to close it and type the command source.bashrc, and that command is listed right here. this is something different. Ignore what I just said. But because we edited the bash rc here, it's not going to use it in this terminal until we reload it, and the source command reloads reloads the file that you mentioned after it. So I'm going to hit enter, and now we should have a new work on home variable in our system. Yep, so there it is. Echo work on home. We've just added this variable which Virtualenv is going to look for. So now to create a Virtualenv, I'm going to make a code directory. So now I've made the code directory. I'm going to cd into code. There's nothing in here at the moment. You can make a new Virtualenv by typing mk Virtualenv, and this is going to use Python 2 because Python 2 is our default Python for this system. So we could say make Virtualenv test project. And now you can see that Virtualenv has been activated. We're now working on test project, and if I list the contents of the directory again, there's still nothing in there. But there is something. I'm going to cd into the home directory, list it, and you can see the new folder called ends. So now we can cd into ends, and this is where all of our virtual environments will be stored now, because Virtualenvwrapper puts all of your virtual envs in one directory here, so they're not in your project. And here's our test project virtual environment. So I'm going to go back to our code directory. I'm going to make dir test project, and I'm going to cd into that. Now you can see we're still on test project. If I type pip freeze, it's going to list all of the Python packages that we have installed, and we only have wheel installed. So now I can type pip install Flask, Flask is a framework for building websites in Python. And now I can use the pip freeze command again, and it shows all the new packages that it installed here. To share these with other people, you use pip freeze and you point it into a requirements file. This greater than sign just means put the output into the file. And now you can see we have the requirements file there. If I type Python, we should be in a Python 2.7.6 environment, and we can say from Flask import Flask. Oh, I did type that wrong, sorry. From Flask import Flask, and then we can get information about it and do things with it. So that's Python 2. If we want to use Python 3, we have to use a different command. First deactivate the virtual environment, and now that this part is gone from our command line, we're no longer in the virtual environment, we're in our system's Python environment. So if we would type pip freeze now, we're not going to see Flask there because that other environment is isolated. So we have all of these different things in our system environment that are not in the virtual environment that we just created. There's no Flask here. Okay, so for Python 3, over here on the page you can see there's a long command here, make Virtualenv, no site packages, distribute p. You can do that, or you can just make Virtualenv Python using which Python. So how that works is if you type which Python 3, it tells you where the Python is, where Python 3 is. It's in user bin Python 3. So we're basically saying make virtual environment using Python, and then this part inside of the backticks will be turned into the location of our Python 3 on the system. And then here we're going to make an alias for it, so we don't have to type all this out every time. We just have to type mkve3, make virtual environment 3. So you can just put this in the bashrc file by copying it. Vim, the tilde means the home directory, and bashrc, .bashrc means a hidden file, the dot in the beginning. So at the bottom we created these last time. Now we just add an alias here at the bottom. And we can source that file again. Source means to reload it. And now I can type, let me go up a directory, I'll make a new project, a new directory called Python 3 test project. And I'll cd into Python 3 test project. You can see there's nothing in there. So mkve3 Python 3 test project. So the mkve3 command comes from that custom command that we put into our bashrc file, and I've named the virtual environment the same name as the directory. And I do that because if you use Z shell, you can get a plugin that will automatically activate the virtual environment when there is a virtual environment that matches the name of the directory that you're in. So I'm going to hit enter now. So it's activated the environment called Python 3 test project. And now if I type the word Python here without the 3, it's still putting us in Python 3 because we've created an isolated virtual environment that uses Python 3. So same thing, pip freeze, and it will show you that we only have wheel installed, there's nothing else. And I could pip install tornado. Now let me install something small. Pillow. Okay, that was a bad example because I'm missing something. It's probably Python dev. In any case, pip install requests. That's a simple one. Okay, now pip freeze again. And we have wheel and request installed, and we're working in Python 3. So that's basically it. Just go to code self-study/wiki/virtualenv, and there are some instructions there, or leave a comment on the page.